Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Announcing the arrival of Professor Dr. Zanaria Abdullah, Dean, Faculty of Science, Chairman for this afternoon sessions, and Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya from the Department of Chemistry, Faculty of Science, University of Malaya.
University Malaya, kebanggaan kita semua, bertambah para ilmuwan di berbagai lapangan. Kami bertekad di hati mencapai cita murni, tradisi kecemerlangan menepati wawasan. Di sini kami sedia berbakti, terus berinovasi. Kami harapan generasi muda, teras nusa dan bangsa. Varsity kesayanganku, sungguh banyak jasamu membentuk insan mulia, berilmu berbudaya. Di sini kami sedia berbakti, terus berinovasi. Kami harapan generasi muda, teras nusa dan bangsa. Varsity kesayanganku, sungguh banyak jasamu membentuk insan mulia, berilmu berbudaya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. First of all, a very good afternoon to Professor Dr. Zanaria Abdullah, Dean of Faculty of Science, Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya, distinguished guests, eminent scholars, management of the Faculty of Science, University of Malaya, and ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural lecture by Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya entitled Polymers, Upgrading the Present, Upholding the Future. Without further delay, I would like to invite the chairman for today's inaugural lecture, Professor Dr. Zainal Abdullah, Dean of Faculty of Science, to chair today's lecture. Please welcome, Professor.
Thank you, Dr. Azman. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam satu Malaysia, salam sehati sejiwa. Kena habis salam dulu. Okay, Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya. Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya received her BSc Honours in Chemistry in 1981 from Leicester University, United Kingdom, and started working at the University of Malaya as a tutor at Centre of Foundation Studies in Science, that is PASUM. She then went to Brunel University, West London, UK, to pursue her postgraduate studies and obtained her PhD in 1990. In 1993, she was awarded the Asian Development Bank Fellowship to work on the polymeric thermoplastic composite materials, focusing on flame retardants at Brunel University. Then the Commonwealth Fellowship to work on the interfacial aspects of fiber matrix in polymeric thermoset composite materials in 1998, and the JICA Fellowship to work on photocatalysts and renewable energy in 2000. She served as a lecturer at PASUM from 1990, and in 1997, she was transferred to Chemistry Department in the Faculty of Science. In our faculty, she has served as a head of section for Physical Chemistry Division at the Chemistry Department, as well as a Deputy Dean undergraduate at the Faculty of Science. Professor Dr. Rosiyah is an applied chemist specializing in polymer material science and catalysis. She has published more than 150 papers, of which most are in ISI journals, and has invited speakers at international conferences. She has co-authored a book, Kimia Tak Organik, published by Penerbit Fajar Bhakti or Oxford Press, and a book chapter on ionic liquid enhancement of polymer electrolyte conductivity and their effects on the performance of electrochemical devices, published by Intech OA Publisher. She has also contributed part of her academic writings in encyclopedia published by Dewan Bahasa and Pustaka, and has written modules for Petronas staff training on polymer and catalysis. She has registered patents and has won many awards in exhibitions. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Prof. Rosiyah Yahya to deliver her inaugural lecture entitled Polymers, Upgrading the Present and Upholding the Future. Prof. Rosiyah, the floor is yours.
Shall we have the lights off? Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Madam Chairman, for the kind introduction. And Alhamdulillah, my turn has come now to give this inaugural lecture. Thank you to everybody who has made the time to come, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and students from all over. Okay, special thanks to the Dean Office for arranging this lecture, Head of Chemistry Department, and those who directly and indirectly has encouraged me to give this inaugural lecture. First, let me say something on how I get myself involved in polymer research for the past more than 20 years. In 1985, I was offered the SLAB scheme to do my graduate studies. I got a place to do PhD at Sussex University on polymers and Brunel on heterogeneous catalysis, basically on metals and metal oxides. Somehow, I chose the latter, and worked under the supervision of Professor Jeffrey Bond, who we nicknamed him as father of catalysis at that time. When I first met him, he told me that I have made the right choice of choosing heterogeneous catalysis, because heterogeneous catalysis is very multidisciplinary, and being trained in it will help me to adapt to different facets of chemistry. This proved to be later in my career. So on returning to PASUM in 1990, I continued to synthesize new materials for catalysts, and it was later Professor Dr. Gan, who is here sitting on the third row. Yeah, he approached me and offered me to work on catalytic hydrogenation of natural rubber. Yeah, we worked together with one of the master students, yeah, and in fact we published a paper, yeah, and that was my first exposure to polymer research, which somehow has got a link with catalysts. The catalysis work continued with polymerization of polyethylene, and it was from here that my polymer research branches out until now. Okay, today, in this inaugural lecture, I'm going to talk on polymers, upgrading the present, upholding the future. That is, we want to improve the present scenario of polymers and also to conserve the future. So we try to uphold it. Yeah? So I recognize that this lecture is somewhat with an open audience, so I'm not going to focus much on the complicated theory and all the technical stuff. Okay, so introduction to polymers. We know the progress of mankind has always been associated with materials. We talk of Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age. And in that sense, the era we are living today is best described as the polymer age. So have a look at all around us. Yeah? All the materials around us, undoubtedly, polymers are everywhere, all around us. We use them every day, and we see them, that they had invaded every area and aspects of our life. So essentially, there's nothing without polymers. Polymers are within us, in our body. The nucleic acid, the amino acid, forms the polymer DNA and proteins. These are fundamental to biological structure and function, such as our nails, our skin, our hand, and etc., etc. Look at all around us. Look at the natural polymers. Many materials found in nature are in fact polymers. The basic molecular structure of all plants and animal life is similar to a synthetic polymer. So these natural polymers include, from the plant origin, starch, rubber, cellulose, and cotton. And then from the animal origin, we have proteins in the form of keratin, albumin, silt, and the polysaccharide, which are the ketones, yeah? Or sometimes the deacylated form is the ketosan. And how does the natural polymer progress? So polymer in nature have been around with us since the beginning of time. These natural polymers have been used since, we can say, time immemorial, affecting our life until today. Some examples of the polymers which have been processed, you can look at the slides. Yeah? Cellulose, yes, we use paper every day. Rubber in the form of tires. Cotton, the clothing, yeah, we used. And paddy or wheat, yeah? It's in the form of starch and the food we eat. So synthetic polymers around us, we can see that synthetic polymers has transformed into many things that we use in many aspects of our life. Some examples are what's shown in the slide here: polyester, yeah, clothing. You have polyamide, made into fibers. PU, the polyethylene terephthalate, or in short PET, and the polyepoxy. Normally we use it as adhesives. So it is noteworthy to mention that the majority of polymers or plastic used in engineering design are also synthetic and are often specifically formulated or designed for the specific purposes. Polymers usage in all ages. Yeah? We cannot deny, yeah? From baby and children, teenager and adult, until elderly, we can see all the things are all basically polymers. Yeah? You can see, it's obvious, babies, the things that we use, feeding bottles, toy, meal set, teenagers, contact lenses, yeah? And jackets, and computer, and handphone covers, and elderly, yeah, the toy game in elderly, yeah, which is basically what makes elderly people happy. Yeah? They have the toy game, yeah? And the bathroom accessories, yeah, anti-grip mat, and also the hearing aid. Today, the polymer industry had grown to be even larger than aluminum, copper, and steel combined. So we can see that polymers have transformed everyday life, bringing societal benefits, and besides offering future technologies and also medical advances. So let's see something on the theory behind polymers. Yeah? Before we go to the definition, yeah, we see what we mean by polymers. Yeah, the word polymer comes from the Greek word polos, or sometimes we call it poly, yeah, which means many. You can see here the word polymer, the poly, many, and mer, parts or units. So actually, by joining these words, it gives a hint that this is how polymer is made, yeah, from many small units. Okay, while the common name for polymer, if you talk to a layman, yeah, normally they will refer polymer as plastics, yeah? And even the word plastic actually originates from the Greek word plastikos, yeah, which means it can be molded. And in fact, this name honors plastic being able to be molded. Okay, examples of monomers. Okay, the poly, which is the many, the mers, which is unit or parts. So you can see the mer for carbohydrate is glucose. The mer for cellulose is also glucose. The mer for protein is amino acid. Mer for DNA is nucleic acid. And polyethylene, the synthetic polymer, is from the ethylene gas. Let's look at how these polymers are formed. So I will play this video. Imagine, yeah? Formation of polymer, we imagine that the monomer is a paper clip, which is the monomer. This will be joined together and linked to form the dimer. And then it continues joining until it forms a large chain, the polymer. And sometimes we have different polymers joining. And when they join, there is a possibility for the polymer to be in a linear chain, branch chain, or even cross-link. Yeah? Okay, we'll look at a specific natural polymer, cotton. Yeah, we can say it's fashionable natural polymer. Yeah? So what actually is the building block for cotton? Okay, cotton is basically cellulose. And cellulose, this is cellulose, yeah, is made up of chain of sugars, which is the glucose, linked together by the beta-1,4 alpha. It's a bit technical, but I think it's easy to follow. Yeah, it's just the link here. Yeah, it's known as the 1,4 beta, yeah? Glycosidic link. So it's linked together, and this forms the cellulose, which makes up the cotton. So if we look more technical, I hope you can follow through. Yeah? So this is our glucose structure. So the glucose structure, or the glucose molecule, bends itself into 4 different shapes, millions of times a second. See, the wonder of nature, yeah? It can bend, yeah? It bends here, yeah? Flip either way, millions of times a second. And when it flick and form the alpha glucose, whereby the OH here, where it joins the carbon 1, if the OH is in the down position, it will form the alpha glucose, and this gives rise to our polymer starch. And if it flicks and the OH is on the up position, it will form the polymer cellulose. So from the same sugar, you can get two types of polymers. Okay, we take an example of a synthetic polymer, which is nylon. This is a multi-purpose synthetic polymer. You can see why we say multi-purpose. It's used in footwear, nets, fishing lines, tents, and thread pools. So this polymer is made from two monomers, the tetramethylene dicarboxylic acid, or the common name adipic acid, and the hexamethylene diimine. This polymer, actually nylon, was discovered in 1935. It's quite some time, 1935. And the name nylon was derived from two cities where it was discovered, namely New York, abbreviated NY, and London, abbreviated LON. So joined together, we get nylon. So you can see the uses of nylon here. In fact, because it's made from two monomers, so we normally refer nylon as copolymer. I think I cannot skip this polymer. This is polyethylene, the most important polymer. Over 60 million tons of polyethylene is manufactured yearly, making it the world's most important plastic. So it was used industrially. It was synthesized industrially in 1933. Okay, and that time when it was synthesized, the monomer was ethylene and benzaldehyde, but it was difficult to reproduce because of the traces of oxygen present and contaminate the polymer. So the breakthrough landmark of PE production, commercial production actually, was in 1950s with the development of catalysts, namely the Phillips catalyst, and later in 1960, the Ziegler-Natta catalyst. In fact, a Nobel Prize in chemistry was jointly awarded to the two scientists, Carl Ziegler, a German scientist, and Giulio Natta, Italian, in 1963 in the field of chemistry and technology of high polymers. Basically, their catalyst is being widely used until today. Okay, depending on the polymerization processes used, various types of PE with different structures and properties can be obtained for a specific application. Shown here, you can see we can get low density polyethylene, application for grocery bags, plastic wraps, trays. We have high density PE, sometimes we call it HDPE. You can see many of these items here. It says HDPE, meaning high density polyethylene, used in containers and bottles. And the medium density polyethylene, this is a bit tough. So it's used in gas pipe and fittings. And we also have the ultra high molecular weight PE. So this is used basically for drain pipes and very hard materials, even the vest, the bulletproof vest. Okay, having seen all the usefulness of polymers, it is natural to see how polymers are synthesized. This process is known as polymerization. The technical definition for the process is covalently combining the monomers to form the polymer. And polymerization has become rampant and extensive with the advent of petroleum refining complex. This petroleum refining complex has brought in an array of economical small molecules. Example, our ethylene, our propylene, our butane. And also another factor, the rapid development of synthetic chemistry. We have to give credit to the synthesis people, because of them and also because of this petroleum industry, synthetic polymers are being brought to the masses until in an alarming rate, what we are using today. So basically, I have to quote this. This is the quote by Lord Todd. He won the Nobel Prize also in the polymer field. Yeah? What he says is, I am inclined to think that the development of polymerization is perhaps the biggest thing that chemistry has done, where it has had the biggest effect on the everyday life, which I think nobody can deny this. It's true. Yeah? So, for synthetic polymers, polymerization can be divided into two basic types, the addition or the chain growth, and the next one is the condensation or the step growth. Okay, what is the addition and the chain growth? For the process to undergo this polymerization, the characteristic or the features that must be present is the monomers here. If you look at the monomers, it needs to be unsaturated, meaning it has this C, double bond C. And also there must be a presence of initiator because we need to produce the reactive sites, or in chemistry we call it radical. Yeah? This radical, which will be formed on the monomer, will be transferred to the newly added monomer, and continues to add on and on until it forms a chain reaction, forming the large molecule. And after a time, it will terminate and it will destruct the active sites. So example of polymers that can be synthesized by this polymerization are the polyethylene, because ethylene has got double bond, propylene and polyvinyl chloride. The next type of polymerization is the, I have a video here. Maybe this video you can remember. Yeah? So normally, I always tell my students, as much as you look at audio, you also want to look at the visual. Sometimes the visual can, and plus audio is more effective. Yeah? So I hope this, when you bring back, you can imagine what is addition polymerization. Okay, let's look at the video. Oh, the video has gone finished. Oh, never mind. I've been shut. Okay. Okay, we look at the next polymerization, which is condensation or step growth polymerization. Okay, the features of this polymerization is that the monomer must be bifunctional. What is meant by bifunctional is that you have two functional groups. So in this case, you have the NH2 here, NH2, or we call it amino group. And we have the dicarboxylic acid. This is one of the carboxyl group. We have two. It's bifunctional. And in the process, it will eliminate small molecules. So in this case, it eliminates the water. So this is an example of a polyamide 6,6 copolymer. So it's made from two monomers. So as I have mentioned earlier, if it's two monomers, we can say it's a copolymer. Okay, another video. Not video, it's just, maybe this we remember better, yes? So you have two monomers. It joins together with the elimination of the small molecule. So in this case, if the small molecule is water, the reaction is actually dehydration. Okay, we have seen earlier that polymers are macromolecule made up of many repeat units forming the long chain. See, the long chain, this long chain, if you imagine spaghetti, so polymer it resembles a bit like spaghetti. So due to this long chain, many different structures of polymer chain can be possible. It can be linear, it can be branch, it can be cross-linked. So the different chain molecular structures of polymer influence the chain packing. Okay, influence the chain packing, giving rise to different polymer characteristics. So basically, if you see, polymers are not completely crystalline, but semi-crystalline because they contains both the amorphous region, whereby the chain is randomly packed, and also the crystalline region, whereby it's orderly packed. You can see here it's quite ordered. Here the amorphous is very random. Okay, and the amount of crystallinity in the polymer itself, normally we refer it to as degree of crystallinity. And depending on degree of crystallinity, it will give rise to different polymer properties. If it's more amorphous, then you have soft and brittle properties. And if it's highly crystalline, you get the strong and hard properties. Okay, the title here, problem with plastics. But actually, what makes plastic desirable? Yeah, the two properties that make plastic very, very desirable. Yeah? It is inert, which means it will not react with what is stored in them. It is durable. It is not easily it will not easily decay, dissolve, or break away. So these qualities are good as long as you use it or you keep it. But you know, human, after a while, you get bored. You want to have something new, so you tend to throw away. So when we want to throw away, the problem comes because polymer, as much as it's durable in use, is also durable in waste. So if we look at this, I just put here so that we can remember. Yeah? A plastic bottle, yeah, is good. We use it. Sometimes we reuse it a few times, but every time you use it, you keep on collecting, and after a while you have to dispose it. And to dispose this plastic bottle takes almost 450 years. So you imagine if you have lots of this. Yeah? So because of that, what happened? What we think is comfortable, what started as a comfort to us has now become a major conflict. Yeah, as these polymers keep on accumulating, and it causes serious pollution problem, leading to long-term issues for plants, animals, and also people. Yeah? So let's look at some statistics. This is statistics taken from the Plastic Ocean Source, AFP. Plastic pollution by numbers. Okay, 35 billion plastic water bottles per year in US. Yeah? Approximately 500 billion plastic bags annually used worldwide. 40% plastic usage in packaging. 8% of plastic account for the world's oil production. 250 species known to have ingested or become entangled in plastic. This will not be, the human rights will not be happy with this. Yeah? The animal rights. Yeah? Okay, and in 2002, this is quite old, but we can still see. Yeah? 2002, UN study estimated 7 trillion USD a year of economic risk from plastic pollution. So you can see it is due to plastic that this 3R, the 3R term, yeah, was introduced. Before that, we never heard of 3R. What is 3R? Because of plastic, the 3R was introduced. What is actually 3R? We have to try to reduce, to reuse, or to recycle. So if you look at all your items, your consumer items used, if you have a triangle there at the bottom of the item, with number 1, it refers to PET polymer. Number 2, HDPE, 3, PVC, and so on. Yeah? LDPE, number 4, number 5, PP, number 6, PS, and number 7, other polymers. Okay, the solution. What is the solution for us? Go back to nature. You go back to nature. Nature, we know, is renewable, is sustainable, is green, is eco-friendly. So I'm going to talk on the research work on polymers that we have carried out at chemistry department over the years. I have divided it into 4. The first is the chitosan modification, starch modification, copolymer from palm oil, and polyurethane. PU is actually polyurethane, yeah, from natural rubber. Let's look at the first one, the modification of chitosan. Okay, basically, when we want to modify this, we want to have a certain application. And the application is as an electrolyte in dye-sensitized solar cells. Why solar cells? As we are aware, worldwide demand of energy will increase in the coming decades. Yeah? The supplier of energy will have to contend with shortage of fossil fuel such as coal, oil, and natural gas, and the polluting effects of the fuels, and also the possible danger of nuclear effects if we want to use nuclear as our source of energy. So, and most of all, solar cell, we wanted to resort to solar cell because it's clean, free, renewable, and lastly, but not lastly, this is what is important, it is extremely reliable. So solar cell actually is a device that converts light into electrical energy through the photovoltaic process. So there are many types of solar cells. What I've listed here is just 4 solar cells. The silicon solar cell, which is the first generation solar cell. And the other 3 is the dye-sensitized solar cell, organic solar cell, and quantum dot solar cell. The 3 are all the 3rd generation solar cells. And in our work, we have chose dye-sensitized solar cell because of its low cost, easy to fabricate, and it can achieve high energy conversion efficiency. Okay. I like this picture, It's the picture taken in our lab, Although initially it looks foreign to me, but I'm getting used to it now, Okay. In our work, we have used the natural polymer in the dye-sensitized solar cell. So what we do, we use the biopolymer and then we apply it in dye-sensitized solar cell. So actually this setup, we have it very recently, and much of this work is in collaboration with Prof. Karim's lab. I think quite a few here. Okay, no doubt, natural polymers are abundant, cheap, eco-friendly, sustainable. So it qualifies them as the most environmental and economically viable contender to synthetic polymer. However, you can see here, the blue box here, natural polymer is highly hydrophilic, highly crystalline, and only soluble in aqueous medium. So because of this characteristic, it has poor conductivity, and then poor conductivity is not good. So what you have to do, we have to chemically modify it. So the chemist really comes in here, So look at our work on chitosan. So what we do, before we modify the chitosan, we have to understand the structure of chitosan first. So chitosan actually is a natural polymer, a polysaccharide structure. It is the deacetylated structure of ketene, soluble in aqueous acidic medium, insoluble in organic solvent. So when you deacetylate it, you get the 1,4-beta glycosidic bond, this 1,4 forming the chitosan. So when you look at this structure of chitosan, as a chemist, we say, we have reactive sites here, we have reactive sites here, we have reactive sites here. Why don't we modify it? And true enough, we modify using phthalate and hydride to form the phytolyl chitosan. Once we get the phytolyl chitosan, we test its property, and true enough, it is soluble in organic solvent. Of course, it has all these polar atoms which we like, because we want to have it as an attachment for our ions when we do the solar cells or conductivity measurements. Okay, this is taken from the paper by one of my PhD students. I think she's here. So from crab shell to solar cell. So we start with, of course, we didn't start with the crab, but of course the chitosan starts from the crab. So we modify it, some process here, a long process here, and then we get the phytolyl chitosan. Then make it into the gel polymer electrolyte, measure, prepare the sample for the measurement of dye-sensitized solar cell. So of course, in this process, we have to look into many parameters. So one of the parameters for this paper actually is we use a mixed salt. We use a mixed salt, and we realized that its efficiency is much better than the single salt. So the mixed salt actually gives an efficiency of 6.36 as compared to the single salt of 5. So that's an increment. So we have to keep on working until we get better hopefully we get 10. Yeah? Okay, the next polymer that we modify is starch. We start with potato starch. Hopefully we get something like this. Very useful in today's life. Yeah? You need the energy sources. Yeah? Okay, before we modify, we have to understand what is the starch structure. So this is the starch structure. Starch is a polymeric carbohydrate consisting of the sugar units, the glucose. It's joined together by the glycosidic bonds. You remember the slide earlier? Yeah, it's alpha, right? Beta is cellulose. Yeah. So this is joined by the alpha 1,4 bond, and this polysaccharide is produced by most of the green plants, yeah, as an energy source. So the starch actually is a composition of two molecules, the amylose and the amylopeptine. You can see the difference in structure. The amylose is straight chain. The amylopeptine, you have something like this. Yeah. Okay, modify. I always mention, yeah, this is our favorite reactant, yeah, phthalate anhydride. Yeah. We use again phthalate anhydride under certain conditions. We heat, a long process, yeah, and we manage to get the phthalate starch. This is the process. Yeah. We take this phthalate anhydride, we attach it to the OH here and get this structure, which is the phthalate starch. Okay, we want to apply it as a bioelectrolyte, and we want to work towards green. Yeah? Remember the 12 principles of green chemistry or chemical engineering? So we try to work towards those 12 principles. Yeah? So what we do, we try to prepare natural deep eutectic solvent. Yeah? So we use choline chloride, easily available in chicken feed. Yeah? The urea, a lot, yeah? We use it in fertilizers and glycerol. Join together, we get the deep eutectic solvent, add together with our modified starch, prepare the quasi-solid bioelectrolyte, and then test for its conductivity. We get a conductivity of 2.86 millisiemens per second. Okay, we have published this paper recently. And actually, we look at this. When we look at this conductivity, I just want to share with you. Yeah? Actually, this conductivity is the highest conductivity among starch-based electrolyte system reported in the recent literature. Yeah? Actually, at least to the best of our knowledge. Yeah? So we are quite happy with this. Yeah? And we also work on the palm oil, copolymers from palm oil. What we do, we synthesize the copolymer to target for the coating binders. So what is the coating what is the composition of organic coating? This is the composition. I have bold this, binders, 30%. The major composition of the paint is actually the binder, which is actually the copolymer. So we want to use something natural. So if we look, yeah, try vegetable oil. Okay, we know if we use vegetable oil, concerns, yeah, many people are using this vegetable oil because of the concern of environmental aspect. Yeah. So, and also because of the rising petroleum prices. So we'll go to plant seed or oils, that's the vegetable oil. And of course, yeah, vegetable oil biodegradable, has all these properties of biodegradable, versatile, functional, and low cost. So this is our work. Yeah? We start with the oil, modify it with, again, this famous, or at least our common reactant, phthalate anhydride, form the macromer, and then co-polymerize it with different acrylic, and then we get the copolymer. Yeah? The reason why we have to modify this is because palm oil is non-drying, yeah? So we have to modify it. Yeah? Okay, and after modification, we are able to get fast physical drying, high water and salt resistance coating. Yeah? So these are some of the characteristics. I will not go through, you can have a look. Yeah? Yeah? Environmental and so on. Yeah? So if we look at our code, yeah, We have coated this in mild steel. This is after 1 hour coating. This is after 1 year. You can see those that has been coated will not corrode. Yeah? So at least we have been successful in producing these binders. Yeah? Okay, this is more interesting. Yeah? The palm oil, the palm stearin. Palm stearin actually is a byproduct of palm oil processing for production of palm oil, and it's considered less valuable in the palm industry, in the palm oil industry. So we want to use this, and we want to replace the common oils that has been used in coating binder, the linseed oil and the castor oil, replace part of it, and finally, alhamdulillah actually, we managed to get the coating which is actually of excellent properties. In fact, this work has been published in Progress Organic Coatings, and also it also has been featured in the European Coatings. This is actually Europe leading monthly journal for coating industry with trend-setting industry news, cutting-edge technical papers, and exclusive market insights. Okay, this may be the last one. Yeah. So polyurethane from natural rubber, we also work on this. Okay, actually before we do any modification, we look back at the structure of the natural polymer. If you look at the natural rubber, it has this hydrocarbon structure, all the active sites. Okay, we have this active site, so therefore we can modify and functionalize it. So what we do, we take the low-grade natural rubber, the waste cup lump, this is actually a waste, or they use it for cheap items. Yeah? Okay, we functionalize it and get the functionalized liquid natural rubber. We functionalize and we also degrade it, yeah? So that we can react it further to form the semi-rigid PU foam, the polyurethane foam. Okay, and we know that this polyurethane film, not foam, film, yeah, is used in packaging, lamination foil, vehicle interior, and so on and so on. Yeah? In fact, we have published this in Industrial Crop and Products. Yeah? Okay, as much as we use the waste, we also want to try to use from the fresh latex. Because if we use from the fresh latex, we need not have to go to the process of getting the solid rubber. Yeah? So use the fresh latex, also we functionalize it. When we functionalize it, we must work on the OH value. Yeah? So getting the right OH value, we are able to make flexible foam. Okay, this flexible foam you can use in home furnishing, our furniture, and so on. Yeah? Okay, and we also, as much as we use natural rubber, natural resources, we also try to use waste. And we know, yeah, waste PET bottles, a lot of waste PET bottles around. Yeah? So what we do, we try to recycle these bottles. Yeah? So we recycle this bottle to get the PU foam. Okay, this is our work, which we exhibit in Percipta 2009. So this work has been done some time ago, yeah, 2009. And I want to share with you with this video, which we have made for the exhibition. Okay. I am playing this video, Ellie. Something's not right. There's problem with sound system. Yeah? Okay. Oops, sorry. Ellie, okay, Ellie? Okay. I want to finish this technical part, yeah? We finish this technical part. This is the last, yeah? And then we go on something different, yeah? Very, very light, yeah? Hey, why is it not moving? Oh. Do you want to hear it, Ellie? Sham, what happened?
Can't play, but yeah. Plastics are everyday materials in modern life and are often used in disposable applications, such as packaging in beverages manufacturing. This is the origin of a serious pollution problem, more so if these materials are disposed of irresponsibly. In Malaysia, millions of plastics bottles are used a year, which significantly contribute to a serious environmental problems. For instance, plastics bottles dumped in the wrong place tend to collect rainwater and become insects' breeding ground. Professor Rosiyah, together with her research team, has conducted a research project which chemically converting the post-consumer PET bottles into a polyol, which can be used to make polyurethane foam. Post-consumer PET bottles were collected from residential areas and supermarket. In a second step, the bottles need to be sorted, washed, and flamed. The size of reduction from the post-consumer PET bottles to the flames is done by rapid granulator. PET flakes were glycolized by glycol, and the catalyst used is zinc acetate. The glycolysis is controlled by measuring the time and temperature, which may be in certain range. The product is called as glycolized polyol, were then analyzed for hydroxyl value.
Actually, we have speed up this process. It takes 7 minutes. And actually, if you look, the narration is done by a computer voice. We try our voice, my student's voice. They said, no, it's not good. Try my voice, it's also not good. So we use the computer voice. More of American slang, yeah, but I think it's better than our voice. Actually, the foam rises because we put in a blowing agent. Okay, we form the polyurethane foam. Suddenly the voice goes off. Yeah? There's no sound. Oh yeah, it comes now. Okay, we finished the technical part. The second part actually is my journey. A journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step. My childhood. My sister, she's not here today. She has to go to Labuan, yeah? So never mind. And then my academic journey, how I landed doing chemistry. This is where my academic journey starts actually. It began when I was offered the scholarship to pursue my A-level in Yorkshire, United Kingdom. And during this period, I realized my inclination towards chemistry, mainly inspired actually by my academic advisor, Dr. Lethbridge, who is also my academic teacher. Okay, this led me into enrolling to the Bachelor of Chemistry program at Leicester University. Okay, this is the picture of my undergraduate days. This is a combination of 3 programs: the single subject chemistry, chemistry with biochem, and chemistry with geochem. So mine is the chemistry single subject. There's only about 30 students. At that time, in the late 70s, I think some of you may not be born yet, in the late 70s, is a male world. There's only 3 female. Can you spot me? Maybe you can spot me, the shortest. Yeah? And the other female is the tallest, Jane. And another one, Elizabeth. 3 of us, yeah? Not many. It's a male world actually that time, yeah? Okay, my undergraduate days, I was paired with the tallest girl for my lab classes, my tutorials and everything. This pairing was done by our program coordinator based on our surname. My surname is Yahya, Y. And Jane's surname is Wyatt, W-Y-A-T-T. So we are paired together, the shortest and the tallest. So this is one of our final year project. We were working on electron spin resonance of blood. Yeah? And of course, my BSc convocation. I was puffy, yeah? I was young though, yeah? So I graduated in 1981, returned to Malaysia, served as a tutor at PASUM. Then a couple of years later, I proceeded to do my PhD under the supervision of Professor Jeffrey Bond at Brunel University. So when I first met him, I remember, I did mention earlier just now, he told me that I have made the right choice. Yeah? I think our decan here, Professor Zana, knows him also. Yeah? We have many stories behind this. Yeah? Maybe she knows better. She knows. Yeah? I go to her, we confide each other at that time, yeah? Because I wasn't sure to continue or not. Yeah? And of course, I make it through, graduated. This is during the convocation day. My supervisor, my beloved parents, and my niece. Somehow my niece took my cap. I said, no, it belongs to me, so I still wear it. And then a photograph of it. And then back to UM, served back at Pusat Asasi Science in 1990. Came back with a small grant that I have. I still keep on preparing catalysts, metal oxides and metal, until my first collaborator, Professor Gan. He's here. Thank you, Dr. Gan. Yeah, I must say thank you to him, yeah? My first collaborator. I always say he's the father of polymer, basically, but he really focused on palm oil research. In fact, his inaugural lecture was on palm oil. Yeah. So we continue to work on palm oil, natural rubber, and also the polymerization of ethylene. This is my photograph with him. It's recently taken, you can see, yeah? For this inaugural lecture. And of course, in the early 90s, a long-time fellow of mine, since my PASUM day, here are some of his students and collaborators, yeah? Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Aruf. Yeah, we always have many chemistry-related discussion, and he approached me with a project on polymer electrolytes, introduced me to another dimension of polymer research, and ever since then, we started exploring various natural polymers, the chitosan, the starch, and on the way, cellulose. And concurrently, I was also associated with polymer composite studies with the collaboration of Prof. Aziz, our head of department. Yeah, I can nickname him Masters of Polymer Composites in University of Malaya. Yeah, we knew each other from our PhD days. Yeah. That time, I don't know, he was a UM staff. Yeah. And happens, he came back, I was already in chemistry department instead of in PASUM. Yeah. Okay, and in fact, I also worked under his supervisor during my attachment for 3 months under the fellowship of Asian Development Bank. During that time, Prof. Zana was also there. We were both under Asian Development Bank. Yeah? Okay, and lastly, not lastly, maybe towards going improve further, I was acquainted in the field of conducting polymer with the collaboration of Professor Dr. Ikramul Mahmud. He's here. Yeah? Thank you, Dr. Ikramul. Okay, we work on the synthesis of polypyrrole and its composite, targeting for non-enzymatic glucose sensor, solar cells, and also dye and heavy metal adsorption. Okay, some very interesting pictures here. My overseas stint, this is when I was awarded the Commonwealth Fellowship in Sheffield. This is the pengarah of Pusat Asasi Sains, Associate Professor Dr. Rosinda. We were together that time. We took a photograph, yeah. And this is at Sheffield University. My stint at Japan under the JICA Fellowship. Yeah, 6 people were offered this JICA scholarship from all over the world. This is from Tanzania, Indonesia, Malaysia, from Philippines, and 2 from India. So this is outside our institute. We are still in the lab coats. Yeah? And to go to the institute from the train is by walking. If we walk, it takes half an hour to 40 minutes. It's very long, yeah, very long, very cold. So the 6 of us decided to buy a bike. So we cycle every day to our institute. It's taken during autumn time, yeah. Of course, when you are there, you go to any the cultural village, they make you wear this kimono. So I was wearing this with my colleague Gina and Mary from India. Eh? And of course, the shimazen, the 3-string guitar, and the tea ceremony. All these have got procedures which we have to follow. The Japanese are very strict on this. Even this has got procedures. Yeah? And during the cold winter, instead of staying indoors, my friend said, let's go out. I don't want to go out. But they said, you must go. So I don't want to be left alone. I follow them. A ski trip. Yeah, I fell down every 2 minutes. It's not easy. It's very heavy. But it's interesting. Yeah. Okay, some of my overseas things in conferences in Egypt. I go fast, yeah. In South Africa, cuddling with the lion cub. Can you see? Yeah, I won't play with the lion cub. It's got no teeth and no claws. So they allow us to cuddle them. Yeah? And then my conference at Slovakia. This is in Turkey. This is when I was invited as a speaker for the conference in India. In Morocco, myself is Shaima, our research attachment here. She's in the crowd. Yeah. She has been taking care of us while we are in Turkey. And here, I was also invited for the invited speaker for the conference in Iran. This is the most recent. Yeah. And memories in UM. I was the judge for the poster week. I think maybe some of you are here, yeah? So I was the judge for the poster week. This is late last year. And somehow, the student played out on me. Asked me to hold this placard, couple forever. And Prof. Misni was behind. He said, yes, I do. But I'm not sure whether it's yes, I do with him or to the class of 2016. Okay, anyway, congratulations. And then memories at the Dean's office. This is the Agro Bazaar, which is now a regular event with the XBC. Okay, memories of me officiating the orientation week, and also the Anugerah Dekan, yeah, Dean's Award, yeah, giving prizes to the students. And then when I finished my deputy dean, we had a gathering together with the staff. No, I thought it was just a lunch, yeah, but somehow they gave me a surprise. They gave me a birthday cake and a gift. Also, to my surprise, of course, my inspiration, my students. These are some of my students, yeah. I have to say something about my students, yeah. Yeah. Without them, my work will not be able to sail as smoothly as it has been till now. And throughout my teaching experience, I realized that my students, whom I am trying to inspire, are actually the ones inspiring me. Yeah, until now, they are still inspiring me. Yeah? Okay, some of my students. And of course, many which I don't manage to capture all their photos. And my associates, collaborator, many. Yeah? I have to say thank you to all. Yeah? And my passion. You see, I click this. This is Chika, the mother. This is Dicky. This is Tammy. This is Tony. These three are the kittens of this mum. It has now grown into cats. And then we have three more, Tom and Jerry. And the last one, Manja. But of course now I think some of my friends will know. Yeah, I did mention a few. For the last 2 months, I've been taking care of this cat. He's got a stroke. You can see he's on drip. His name is Danny. And get well soon, Danny. And my family, yeah, my parents. Yeah, I'm truly indebted to my parents and my father Yahya, my mother Rosiyah, whom their love, care, and guidance I will treasure for life. Yeah? And of course, my siblings, my eldest brother. So you can see this family is sandwiched between two males. My eldest brother, my second sister who's here in the audience, my third sister who went to Labuan this morning, me. My sister here who is also in the audience, she took half-day leave to be here. Thank you. And my sister, the youngest sister, she came all the way to London. Thank you very much. And my youngest brother. So before I finish, I would like to share with you this quote. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. So let's choose to learn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya, for the inaugural lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, I would once again to call upon Professor Dr. Zanaria Abdullah, Dean of Faculty of Science, to summarize and conclude today's lecture, which has been delivered by Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya. Please welcome, Professor.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Rosiyah, for such an interesting lecture. Me and Rosiyah, we were a long way together, from my younger days, single younger days, up to almost getting cucu now. Anyway, let us go on the serious notes. Okay, Prof. Rosiyah brought us through the basics of polymers. What are polymers? which are often referred to as plastics, plays roles that are larger than just being plastic bags, tires, or PVC pipes that we used. In biological systems, for example, from nucleic acids such as DNA, RNA, and proteins that are found in human bodies to cellulose and starch from plants, it is clear that life is unimaginable without polymers. The macromolecules, which are made up of repeating units called monomers, if you remember during our undergraduate days, exhibits attractive properties, which explains their vast array of applications. However, the non-biodegradable property of synthetic polymers become a major conflict, as the non-biodegradability of these synthetic polymers is posing serious threat to our environment. Unlike natural polymers, plastic does not compose entirely. Instead, it just breaks into similar fragments. Many efforts to improve the present scenario of polymers and conserving their future are without doubt attracting many researchers to go back to natural-based resources. In this lecture, Prof. Rosiyah has highlighted us the fabrications of materials based on natural polymers, which are indeed the best result to produce green and eco-friendly products. She also shared her work and success on the transformation of starch and ketosane for bioelectrolytes and for application in dye-synthesized solar cells, palm oil into coating binders, natural rubber into PU. Her work on palm steering as precursor to coating binders, as mentioned in the lecture just now, has attracted much attention and has been featured in European Coatings, that is Europe's leading monthly journals. Her group have also successfully transformed waste plastic PET bottles into useful PU foams, which had exhibit in Pencipta 2009 and was awarded the bronze medals. Let us once again put our hands together to thank Prof. Rosiyah for a very interesting inaugural lecture. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor, for sharing this lecture. Before we end today's inaugural lecture, it is my pleasure again to invite Professor Dr. Rosiyah Yahya to present on stage to receive a small gesture of appreciation from Center of Ionic University Malaya, CIUM. And then we have another small gesture appreciation from the postgraduate students of Professor Rosiyah Yahya. Thank you, Professor Rosiyah Yahya. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the management of the Faculty of Science, International Corporate Relations Office, student and staff of University of Malaya, as well as all distinguished guests here who have made time to be part in today's inaugural lecture. With this, we have reached the end of the inaugural lecture. On behalf of University of Malaya, I would like to express our gratitude and also apologize if there are any shortcoming from our side in organizing this lecture. We would like to invite all distinguished guests to have some refreshments which will be served just outside this auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our deepest gratitude for your presence and have a pleasant afternoon. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.
Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest. And nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some